Sleepin Beauty by SomethingTouchesBack. Read with permission by Boaterbug. Well, now hold up there, son. Just hold up a minute. Them new threads you got on stick out in this here station like chili grease on a wedding dress. And they tell me, plain as day, you just come in from one of them rich core worlds. Lord above, I swear, when a fella like you shows up in a place like this, means you either looking for some adventure or you running from some misadventure. What happened? You going rile up a young girl's kinfolk? Don't answer that. Ain't none of my concern. Point is, it's clear as high noon you ain't got the first notion where you done landed. This here station's drifting so close to the edge of human space, when you spit over the rail, it don't land nowhere folks got names for. And let me tell you, they's things out there in the beyond. Now sit your butt down. I'm gonna tell you about the time I come across Sleepin Beauty. See, truth is, I'm a prospector. Got my own ship, paid for outright. Like me, she ain't much to look at. Kinda old, bit banged up, patched more than once. But she gets me out and back, and that's what matters. And when I say out, I mean way on out. Now, I ain't what you call sociable. Don't work for nobody, don't work with nobody, and if I can help it, don't even work near nobody. Just me and the black. When I do find something worth claiming, I head back in, file it proper, sell it off, get myself good and drunk, and turn right back around. Fun's in the hunt, not in the digging. But I'm a-wandering. I was well past the edge when I picked up that ping. Real steady. Too steady to be natural. Too simple to carry any real data. Marker? Warning? Distress call? Took me hours to pin it down to a little old red dwarf. Maybe type M6V or M7V. And that means cooler than most. About 2.5 light years off. The thing was, signal was weak for that distance, which got my curiosity itching. So I figured I'd go take a look. Now, like I said, poking around past the edge of known space ain't exactly wise. There's things in that deep dark. You go touching the unknown too long, sooner or later something touches back. So I didn't go straight in. I looped round, came in over the star's north pole, nice and careful. From up there I could scan the whole spread. Dozen little planets built of rock and ice. And that signal source. There she sat, right in the habitable zone, not near any planet. It looked artificial. Ship maybe? Bigger than mine? Smaller than a cargo hauler. I eased in slow, short bursts on the thrusters, drifting along between, like a cat stalking a bird. As I got closer, my scopes picked up them smooth lines and fancy details. Looked like a yacht. Sweet one, too. Bigger and fancier than anything I ever laid eyes on. Whole thing just screamed money. Also screamed oops. Big old blowout hole near what I figured was the front. Shuttle bay hanging open. Empty. Windows all dark. Figured folks had abandoned her. But infrared said there was still just a little juice being used somewhere inside. And I seen that wide open shuttle bay, and I thought, no sir. Instead, I drift parked alongside that busted section, suited up, and went in through the hull. I got a remote recall on my ship, handy thing when you're prospecting, so I weren't worried about my ride drifting off. Inside was black as pitch. No air, no gravity, nothing. But I had my kit, lights, rock pick, steel wedges, and my stick. You ever see a mining stick, son? Mine was a good one. Carbon shaft, folds down to about 1 meter, stretches out to 4. Got all manner of heads on it. Light, camera, scraper, brush, Geiger counter, sample grabber. Most important tool a prospector's got. When you somewhere strange, you don't ever put hand, foot, or face somewhere your stick ain't already checked. So I was moving aft through that dark ship. Headlamp straight ahead, bicep lights sweeping the sides, stick out front moving in a figure 8. Had me a friend once walked round a corner into a gamma leak. dropped dead before I knew what hit him. Always keep that stick ahead of you. Always check every opening. And speaking of openings, call me jumpy or call me seasoned, but every door I passed, I wedged it open so it couldn't shut behind me. Here and there, shapes loomed out the shadows. Bones, bits of fur, shells, buckles, tools. All that's left when the soft parts rot away. Flotsam of more than one species, far as I could tell. None I recognized. After a long haul through them eerie-ass pitch-black passages, I made it to where that power draw was coming from. And wouldn't you know it, took the whole cake. Big room, 3 wide sarcophagi set around it. Bottom halves all metal and gizmos, tops clear like glass. Left one empty, just some fine-looking white cushions. Middle one had something like a half-rotted Gila monster laying belly down. And then there was her, Sleepin Beauty in the one on the right. Looked near enough human, and Lord have mercy, what a sight. Long, wavy chestnut hair, fair skin, curves that went on forever. Just my type. Laying there like she just drifted off yesterday. I studied on it, figured they was cryo chambers. Built myself a story. Breach happens, not everybody makes it to the shuttles. Sometime later the middle pod fails, but hers is still going strong. The more I looked at her, more I got to thinking I could be some kind of hero. Wake her up. Haul her out of there. Room only had one door. It looked like a pressure bulkhead, so I figured I could get some air in, warm it up, then see about waking her proper. And I made a few trips back to my ship, hauled in a pressure tank, heater, medkit, spare suit, got it all staged, then I looked at the door again. Opened inward. Meant once I pressurized it wouldn't budge. I didn't know how to vent it nice, so I just set some mining charges on the outside face of the frame, checked my remote trigger. Figured I'd blow it once I had her suited up. When all was set, pulled that wedge from under the door and let it shut. I was still checking the seal when I heard it. A soft hiss. Now sound don't carry in a vacuum, so hiss means one thing. Check my suit readouts and sure enough, pressure rising. 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, traces of argon, water, carbon dioxide, same mix as my suit air. Then the lights come on, soft and warm, and I thought, well, that ain't good. Room sat quiet a long while, till pressure and temp hit standard levels. Then that lid over her hinged open. She was still unconscious, but breathing, chest rising slow and easy. And me? I wasn't breathing at all, 'cause she looked even finer with that lid off. But son, if something looks too good to be true, it ain't true. I backed up far as I could and gave her a poke with my stick. Nothing. Then I don't mean she didn't twitch, I mean her thigh wasn't soft. My stick wouldn't get under her arm, I couldn't even tussle her hair. She, the cushions, the whole pod is all one piece. I paused for a moment, studying the situation, looking back and forth between the gorgeous woman that wasn't real and the sarcophagus with the rotten lizard in it. And I began to build myself a new story. Son, do you know the difference between kinky and perverted? I'll tell you. Kinky is the soft caress of a single feather long bare skin. Perverted's using the whole damn chicken. Now that brush head on my stick, we call that the chicken. And from way back where I stood, I stared at her cheek and caressed her with that chicken, along her neck and down her front till I'd nearly made it south of her stomach. And that's when the clear lid snapped shut. Snapped. So hard it snipped my stick clean in two. Costly tool it was, but I just smiled, 'cause I knew right then what she was. Yes, sir, I knows a Venus flytrap when I sees one. I stepped over to that middle pod and gazed at the half-digested giant Gila monster thing inside. I spoke to him. I says, "You stupid, stupid fool. You see an unconscious female, whatever you are, lying naked in a box, and you reckon you'll just take off your spacesuit and have a go?" Son, digestion is slow. I reckon that monster had ample time to reflect on his life's choices after that lid came down. So I'd gathered my gear and was getting set to blow the door when I noticed the pressure dropping. Now, I don't reckon that ship was thinking, not like you and me. Yeah, we're just a creature trying to get by, keep itself fed. Seems them Venus flytraps back home. And having missed me, the trap was resetting. So I didn't blow nothing. I set myself down, waited about an hour till the air drained and that door opened up on its own. Then I removed my explosive charges, packed up and headed back the way I came, pulling my wedges as I went. Son, next time you and your buddies start daring each other to do something foolish, you remember what I told you. This here's the edge of human space. Past here's the unknown. They's things out yonder in the dark. Sleepin' Beauty and her kin are out there, making the galaxy a little smarter, on the average, one fool at a time.